Okay. So another thing that came to mind, it seems like a lot of artists from Chicago, they get a lot more respect in other cities and other countries. You know, everybody looks at that differently. Like what's your take on that, or is it even a factor? Like, is it a thing that even comes to mind, or?
Well, I think, in the early 80s, the fact that house music did start here in the city, right a few blocks away from here, with Steve and Frankie and all those guys, and the Ron Hardys and the explosion, from Chicago to New York, and then from New York to Manchester, and just the way it just blew up in London and just all over the UK, and then in Europe per se. Chicago was always perceived as, that's where it's from. So we always were considered the best at the game. You know how the story goes. Once you invent something, it's yours. So anybody that ever tries to emulate that, copy it, or even, try to do it in that certain vein, will always respect or see the creator of that as the best at it. Chicago to this day still, to me, has the best DJs in the world. Why? Because we come from a school where it was like you had to put on a show with what you know. Your skills had to be, blending, programming, what song goes after what, being able to hold, 2 or 3 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours worth of DJing, playing song after song, blending them right, being able to move the crowd. I think Chicago emulated what a DJ's supposed to be. I won't say that all of the best DJs are in Chicago. I mean, some of my great friends and some of the best DJs I know are, from all over the world. I mean, I'm mesmerized every day by some of these guys that I've heard of for years and years, and finally getting to meet them, and seeing, what they can do. I mean, a Carl Cox, a Dave Clark, a Louis Vega. The list goes on and on. But I do think that Chicago gets a certain respect as far as DJing and house music go. I think the EDM scene, electronic dance music, I mean, that's what it is. It's electronic dance music in a way. Actually, that's what house is. It's electronic dance music. I think people perceive it a little different when you put that EDM staple on it. But some of these guys, it's not about the skill of a DJ, and I think that's where everybody gets confused. It's the entertainment factor. It's the fact that there's thousands and thousands of people. There's a stage. It's like a circus. You're not really going to criticize the elephant for not doing a trick. It's just the whole experience of being there, and the clowns and the popcorn and the lights and the ringmaster. That's what the aspect is. And I think that kind of skews what or how people see it. But I will always stay true to my roots. Being a DJ first and being from Chicago, I'll always represent. If the day comes where I'm not good enough, or I don't feel the passion anymore, then that's the day I'd stop. But that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.